Hey everyone, I am Panda TV. Welcome to the Dungeon Journal. Today we're going to talk about two hot topics, one being the rotation assistant coming in the next patch and the one button macro. I'm joined by the wonderful Mr. Ree, who's known for faffing about. Does a lot of faffing around.
Yeah, look, I recently learned about this word faffing about. I don't believe it exists. I think it's just a meme that you and Tan Queen have against me.
It's a word. I've said
No.
it for many years of my
I
life.
refuse to believe the people out there saying we're faffed about.
I'm surprised that you went with that hair for this episode.
What? I'm surprised you went with that hair.
Yeah.
You're just jealous I have hair.
A little bit.
Yeah, I
a
think
little bit.
so.
I'm not going to lie.
Yeah,
Not going to lie.
it's all right.
So, two things coming into the new patch, which is up on the PTR as the timing of this video.
Yes.
I went and tested a bunch of them, pretty much tested every class in the game.
God, you're good.
Thank you.
You're
I'm
welcome.
prepared. But the system is two different things. So, there's an add-on that already exists in WoW and has been around for many years called Hakili. Hakili is a rotation add-on guide. So the guy who made Hakili actually made a tier list in my chat for me. If you do !Hakili,
Yep.
it works really well for some classes to the point where their discords will say this is actually good, even if you're playing at a decent level, like Enhancement Shaman, Rep Paladin, Fury Warrior. Where other classes, the way that the rotation works for them and the random of RNGness just is horrible. I think Fire Mage is the worst one. If you play Fire Mage, it just doesn't work for it.
Yep.
Hakili's great because it pulls from logs. So it's actually quite reliable. The information that it's showing is very well done, and it's not pulling like random information like some of the rotation add-ons. The other feature that's coming is a one-button macro. So Blizzard are building into the game a one-button macro. You press P, go to your spell book. Up in the top corner, you drag that down to your bar, and then you just spam that one button. So I think it's important to note that if you use it, you get, I think it's 0.2 off your GCD, so you will not be playing optimized. We need to hound this in before people lose their minds, because the last 24 hours on Twitter, social media, everything has just been
Wild.
an absolute bonfire. It will not make you play optimally. I've tried almost every class. It is certainly not optimal for most, okay? But if you're doing world content, looking for raid, normals, you'll be fine, right? But it is definitely not. We need to, again, triple, quadruple down on this because I'm seeing too many people making videos saying that it is. You'll be playing not even at 70% efficiency for most classes. Thoughts?
I mean, the argument will always be around this, like, it will perform at X level, and it's like always going to be at X level. Should be consistent where it's at, and if you're not performing at that level, you could just use it to get that level. But it's always going to be suboptimal. But for me, around this conversation, and this is where I'm going to go, and that's just how I am.
Yep.
Okay? There's a reason people don't play Warrior all the time. People don't want to play an easy class. It's a couple of buttons. People have a choice. They'll play more difficult classes. So if they're going to say, hey, I don't want to
Take
press one
that,
button in the
Warriors.
game, you know, Touchpad Warrior's playing that one button class. He's enjoying it. He'll enjoy the one button rotation, man. That's just how people are. Like, there are classes out there like Enhancement Shaman. There's multiple, and they pick it because they like that. There's variation of classes and variation of styles that have different levels of difficulty. When you play games, all right, you can play it on easy mode. You can play it on very hard mode. They've got one that's easy mode to make it accessible for easy people. If you don't like it, don't play it, man. That's how I see it.
I mean, it's the same with the actual add-on itself.
Yeah.
You don't have to
Correct.
drag that to your bar and use it,
No.
right? And if you are already a heroic raider, or let's say you're 2,500 plus in Raider IO, you are 1,800 plus in thing. You are already, people don't understand, that means that you are already playing better statistically than most of the player base. You are not an average player. The average player is doing 6 keys. They're 1,000 rated in Raider IO, right? And this isn't like based off fluff, right? This is actual stats that you can find very, very easily, right?
Yep.
Same thing as Rep Paladin is the most played class in the world, which I always find surprising. But Paladin in general is the most played thing, specifically being Ret, right? I
Yep.
thought it was like Druid or something,
It's
or
wild that
Hunter.
Rep Paladin is so played.
But yeah, it's really easy to play, and that plays a big part into why so many people play it. So I got told something on chat which I didn't actually think about yesterday. Which another episode that we did, you talked about your neighbor being really overwhelmed when you talk about World of Warcraft. This one button thing, I actually think, so again, it's very separate. The Hakili, built-in Hakili suggestion add-on is very different than the one button thing. I think the suggestion add-on, I think it's fine. I don't think there's even a discussion there. It's probably still not going to make you play optimized.
No.
But who cares? If people, you either turn it on or you don't. It's literally one click. Turn it on, you don't like it, don't use it. Who cares?
Correct.
Shut up, right? The one button thing, someone in my chat made a really good comment where they said they have a 12-year-old daughter who they would love to get into World of Warcraft.
That's cool.
Okay. And every time they've tried, their daughter just gets super overwhelmed, too many buttons, doesn't want to do it. I didn't even think of that where, okay, my argument was elderly people or able gamers, because that's the obvious thought process to me is, there used to be a Rhett Palin on Warcraft movies who his right hand was like born where he's only got like one finger and the other two are like melded together. On his left hand, he's only got the use of one finger. But he played really high-rated PvP Rhett Paladin, right? And he used a bunch of add-ons and different things and different macros to do that. Now, for someone like that, if they wanted to play the game and maybe they can't play anymore, or they've only got one arm or something, or even someone just wants to play on a console and be a little bit better, they now have that option to do that. So this thought process of maybe even younger kids can get into the game now, I think is really important. And I didn't even think about that. And I'll say one last thing before I pass it back to you. Someone who's a good friend of mine, Chad, Anything for Views, plays WoW and has for many years. He said something to me many years ago that's always stuck with me. The biggest problem World of Warcraft has, I speak at high schools about cyberbullying. You work at a school, right? That never, maybe twice out of any school I've ever spoken to of kids say, I play WoW. It is always my dad played WoW, or my dad's uncle, my dad's friend played WoW, or something like that, right? This opens the door for maybe new, younger people to start playing the game, because Chad said to me, World of Warcraft doesn't really get new players. And I agree. Even on the expansion launch, I think you probably only get between 10,000 to 15,000. I think that's even being generous, new players. But you get returning players. So maybe this opens the door to maybe console coming out and people starting to play World of Warcraft on console.
Well, I mean, like, even returning players comments. I haven't played WoW for 3 expansions, and I come back to play, a different class now. I'm like, here's your talent trees, here's your buttons. Like, what the hell am I doing? At least that's going to show you your basic rotation, and then you can transition over to playing it. I think it's a great thing. I think it's super about accessibility. I think your arguments the other side is the same as your meta people. I think it's the same community of just like, no, we don't want the game to be like this, and it'll ruin what we have. And it's just it's an extremist response. But I think it's wonderful. I think it's a really good space that they're working in. I love that idea. I
mean, people forget Microsoft paid $68.7 billion for Blizzard Activision.
Wow.
Right? Yeah, wow. Exactly right.
Wow.
If they turn around and said, we're going to make a console game out of it, bro, you pay $68 billion, do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah,
right?
exactly right.
That's the thing. If they turn around and say, we're going to put WoW on the Game Pass, cool. I get heaps of other games for free, and it's the same price as my WoW subscription. Sick. Okay? Like, most new release games now are free on Game Pass. So if they turn around and did that, sure. If they then go, we're going to make a console port for it, if that brings in, 100,000 players, that's 100,000 players. What are people complaining about?
Yeah.
Sure, they're going to be console players. You probably have an option in game. I only want to play with people on keyboard and mouse. They do that in most games now. You don't want to do crossplay. You're probably going to have an option to turn it off and on. Let's stop gatekeeping new people coming to the game. I think is the big point here, right? Like, let's stop making the game not accessible for people, or making it so maybe people coming and playing don't want to play, right? Let's open the doors a little bit to try and keep this game that we love and have loved for many years alive. That's my thought process.
Yeah. Share the love from Panda. Look at that guy. That's a loving face. I just think this is what the Dungeon Journal is about. We're just taking what we love, which is World of Warcraft, putting 2 guys here to just chat about it, bringing in a community to say, hey, we love what you're doing.
I'm sure our comment section about this video is going to be fantastic, and everyone's going to agree with us.
Every section from ours.
We made a video about this that did quite well on social media. It was a script. It was very clearly a script. People are still commenting on that video. I think it's got like 5,000 likes or something ridiculous across socials. People are commenting on it like it's not a script. We filmed it from 2 different locations on our mobile phones. It was very clearly a script. People are coming at both of us like it's not a script.
Yeah, everything I do is I write. So, it's a script. This is a script.
Yeah.
This is all scripted.
Yeah.
We're actually really good at reading and writing. So
If you've seen my tweets, you'll know that to be true. But we are the Dungeon Journal. Let us know your thoughts. If you disagree, agree, do you think the game is dead? Do you think WoW's dead now?
Let's throw down in the chat. I'm ready.
Yeah, next step is mobile WoW. That's what everyone keeps saying. So WoW's dead.
Well, he just dropped it. Mobile WoW's coming.
That's coming. I'd play it.
Woo!
I don't care what anyone says. I'd play the hell out of mobile WoW.
Hell yeah, dude.
Auto
mobile
walk to next
gaming.
quest. Auto walk to next quest, baby. Give me my gold. Let's go. Easy.
Let's go. Easy. Personal loot.
Yeah. Personal loot. I am Pan TV. You are.
Mr. Ree.
Come and watch us. Enjoy. Subscribe, and we'll see you all there.
See you then.
Peace.